Hi, it's Linda with CreativePillar.com, and this week I am in the Christmas spirit, and I want to start using some of my coloring pages to create some Christmas items. And these are great. You can put these in a planner, a Christmas planner, an activity book, whatever you want to do, and depending on who it's appropriate for is, whatever you fill it with. So if you filled it with something a little looser, so that it would be easy for kids, or this is obviously for an adult. And this is really easy. This is our little frame that we've used that's in our shape. And this tree is from the icon. So let's see how to do that. So I'm going to go down to this page, and it's not blank, so I'm just going to get rid of it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my shape. I've made a lot of these coloring pages without frames. And at this point, I'm tired of not having a frame, and I want to put a frame on there. And I want the frame to be skinny so that my tree takes up most of the page. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to insert an icon. And icons, and I don't know this is a fact, but I think they're like SVG files. And SVG stands for Scalable Vector Graphic. And so I'm going to type in Christmas so I can see what kind of Christmas. Oh, they say there's nothing there. Really? I'm going to say Christmas again. And I guess I needed to capitalize Christmas. And there's the tree. Now remember, when we're using icons, we want to use the dark filled. If you use the light filled, you'll only be able to fill on the outline. It's not going to be much for coloring. And I really like these bells and that stocking, so I may come back at a later time and do that as well. And so you notice that when you first upload it, it's tiny. And that's what's nice. That's why I believe this is an SVG file. Nobody told me that. I just kind of told myself that. Sometimes I tell myself things that are true, and sometimes I tell myself things that really aren't true. But it is scalable, and it didn't lose any of the clarity. And you notice that up here it says graphics format, and it's not a shape format. I can't fill it with anything. But I can go over and I can convert it to a shape. And once I click that button, now I have my shape format. I can go in and I can fill it with paper. I want to fill picture, and I'm going to go and I'm going to use that one. Now, you notice it doesn't look like much. Other than the outline of the shape, you really can't even tell it's a tree. That's why whenever you're doing this, you need to use a weight, and I like that 3-point. And then I'm going to click on that, and I don't know if this is a rule, but I've made it a rule that I'm going to use the same coloring for the outside edge, so it kind of goes together, kind of a matching set. And I'm going to use the 3 on that as well for weight. And so that's our tree, and you could do a whole set of these with different coloring pages. I might go back and do that stocking. Let me try that stocking now, because I had not seen that stocking before, and I want to try. I want to try what that looks like, because that may be something else I do. And now on this, you're going to get that dark outline, plus you're going to get the body of the stocking. And we know we're going to click Convert to Shape. And I'm going to click the frame and the stocking both at the same time and fill them both with some kind of paper. And let me see. Let me try that one. That one looks interesting. Okay. And then, of course, I'm going to go up and I'm going to put my outline in here of 3. And you could actually, people could actually put their name in it. Okay, that'd be kind of cute. Okay, so that wasn't what I intended to do today, but, really like that stocking, how that came out, and you can see that works really great. If you notice that it's squished together, because sometimes they get squished together, you can go over and click that Design and Format Background, click on your shape, and then you go to the Paint bucket, and you should be able to tile it. And you get a little bit different view, and I don't know in this case if it makes a difference. I do tend to like that. If you would like it centered, you can scroll down and see where it says Alignment top left. You can say Center, and it goes back. It's not quite as squished looking. Or you could adjust it if you want bottom right, and Actually, I kind of like that better. It looks like this is a little bit centered. And it does look like a fancy Christmas stocking, so that's kind of cool. But that's not what I intended to do today. I was going to do ornaments. So I pulled these ornaments, and these ornaments are SVG files. And I picked up this SVG file from Creative Fabrica. And the nice thing is, it's already grouped together. When I pulled them in, and let me see if I can find that file where I pulled them in. And SVG files, they're a little bit different, because what happens is they look like it's a Chrome file, but it does say SVG, and if you just drag them over, they're already hooked together. So sometimes they're single, sometimes they're hooked together like that. But if you right-click and you go to Group and you ungroup them, you'll see that they're actually individuals. And so I'm going to copy this one, and I'm going to put this one down here. And it's like it is a shape. And all it is, I'm going to pull it out so that it fits the paper a little bit better. And I am going to put that frame on the outside. This is already a shape. Now, you notice it's two shapes in one. And so when I fill it with paper, I don't want the ornament top to be filled. So I'm going to click on it so that I get the bottom. And I'm going to do the shape format. And I'm going to go to my picture and from a file, and let's do this one. And we want to go for our outline, and I want that 3. Now, then I want to do the outline on this top part as well, because in my mind, I can see this top part being maybe a solid color. This is multicolors, but this is going to be a solid color. And then I'm going to put my frame in there, because I do like that frame on the outside. Just maybe this week. Next week, maybe I'll do something different. But this week, I'm actually doing it. Or you could make the whole thing, and then I'm going to make it a little bit thicker frame. And then I want the same paper here. Now, hopefully I was paying attention and I can remember which paper I used so that it is the same, but who knows. I think it was that one. Looks good enough to me. Okay, so, and you've got 4 different ornaments, so what you can do is you can go back, and I used the round one. Now I'm going to use this one. And let's see, let me put it on this page where I already have a frame. And I'm going to make it do the same thing. I'm going to enlarge it so that it fills the space, and I'm going to scrunch it a little bit. And I'm going to click on that bottom half, and I'm going to use my shape format and my picture, and let's see what I can find for this one. How about this one down here? And I'm going to do my outline, because without the outline it really doesn't look like anything. And I'm going to do the outline up here as well. And then I'm going to go over to my frame, and I am going to fill that as well. And it was that one. Okay. Now, if you find that it's scrunched, then you can always go back to the paint bucket and you can tile it so that it moves out. If you don't like it centered, because in this one it's centered, you can always adjust it by moving this X and Y up and down a little bit, moving it over to one side, although quite honestly, I like that swirl right under the ornament holder. And so you can adjust it like that. Oh, I kind of like that too. Okay, so it really is up to you what you do with it. Same thing with the frame. You can decide the frame. I want it tiled, and you get a little bit more variety there in the frame. And so don't be afraid to use SVG files. I will give you a couple tips. I did download an ornament set, and the ornaments are really detailed, and they had a lot of design And SVG files are made for a Cricut machine so that you can cut stickers or, vinyl patterns, or, you can make cards. You can do all kinds of things with them. And so they're meant to be detailed. And so if you're going to use this to fill with paper, I would just look at something that's a little, I don't want to say plain, but maybe a more outline, maybe a simple shape. Or like our tree, that it's a shape. It's got a little bit of design in there, but not much. I hope this was helpful and you'll start making some Christmas coloring pages and have some fun. Until next time, it's Linda with CreativePLR.com.